What's going on? It's your boy Brandon Burke. I just really want to jump on here. Just really want to make my piece. I know on the Yvette show that she did, I think a few days ago, I just kind of caught the recap of it, but I listened to it. She was talking about the Obama endorsing Biden. That's pretty much a giveaway. That's not really something to be concerned about. It's what I always told people on Twitter. Um, it's kind of like choosing a senile or an asshole. And I think people are mainly will go towards the asshole because they know the asshole. Um, they already know what type of personality, what type of guy he is. They know he's kind of driven in a way. But they already know the deal and with it, and plus Trump got a very I'm not saying a charismatic, but he's almost like an influencer. You know what I'm saying in pop culture or culture itself. Um, Biden is just really affiliated with Obama. That many young black voters really have a bad taste for. So it's kind of already a dead giveaway in that scenario. But that's not really what I was really going to talk about. I think I really want to really focus on the phrase she was talking about. Um, I kind of had a disagreement. Actually, I put my comment on in the video um, as well on it. I think the reason why I had some disagreement with it is because she was talking about people power and she was talking about like financial power or economic power. Basically dealing with money. Um, and she was really talking about you have a strong enough people power, you don't need financial power. But when she made that statement, she kind of hesitated to it. So she was uncertain of even making the phrase. Um, Now I had a problem with that particular phrase and with that particular what she was trying. She didn't go in depth of the financial into it. There's always an economic or financial behind any means of living, any means. Even to have fun, you gotta have financials. I mean, you can have fun playing around in the park and stuff, but if you want to do other type of activities, you're going to need some type of financial. Um, Even in a people power, or what she's calling, um, people power there's a dedication and obligation, and there's a radicalization, a radicalism, ideology in that. I mean, you got to be almost self-sacrificing your standard to change a society, or make us a social shift. Um, and that do take a large group of people. But like I said, I mean, without a financial backing to it, and without really economic push, economic background or baseline in it, even people power don't have much push. Um, the only time, like when peace of powers really get the attention of people, is when there's a radical ideology behind it, almost turning into, I say radical because it's going into uncharted territories of almost going into an extreme to get your point across. So, but when she dismissed the financial part, that to me that's absurd. I mean, you need some type of economics behind your politics. That just go hand in hand. Um, your economic sometimes determine your politics. I mean, your politics that determine the economics is a little bit different. I mean, that's if you have um, a very radical crowd or masses that is really willing to go the distance to get an agenda across. Plus, it takes financial or economics to sustain a type of uh, what you call people power. even into a political realm, because you still need some type of influence to sway whatever politician you have in your back pocket to do what you need to do. So that's really what I was just saying. I mean, like people power. I know Yvette and Tone be talking about, oh, they don't got the people and they don't have a critical mass. I said, well, like I said, you get 10% of a basically of a society or population. 90 basically, and it's very very cut dry, agenda focused driven. They can actually, the rest of the society or the rest of the population will go along with it. That's what basically what critical mass is. Um, I think I'm thinking, like I said, I think there was some things maybe a vet don't know too much about economics. Um, like Tone, like I said, I mean, it's kind of hard it's hard to dismiss financial or economics when you and yourself is kind of, you need financial. You know what I'm saying? To do something that you do, you need some type of financials or that is driven by economics. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of hard for me to really to follow through. Now everybody else, it blew over their head, not me. I actually talked about it. I made a comment on there. Um, it's just something you need financial. The financial power is almost in the equalism as people power. Um, Sometimes financial power can overrule people power, as we've seen many, many times, especially in the stimulus package. So, I mean, to dismiss the financial side of to get an agenda across or whatever, that's pretty immature in my eyes. Um, the next business order I really want to talk about is, the states. Basically, that I think the employment numbers came up. It's it's like 22 million now, still rising. Basically, we are in Great Depression status. I mean, this is like Great Depression type numbers that we're seeing. As well as states are now reporting they are running out of employment. They're running out of money for employments and stuff, unemployment. So it's that's why I think the pressure is on for these states to reopen. I think they are now having a financial crunch. As you know, the federal government was supposed to be working out another stimulus package. I think for small businesses and stuff like that, they stalling. With parties are infighting. So right now, I think a lot of states are now want to reopen their economies because they're actually running out of money. But as you know, a lot of these states are still practicing tyrannical, and even Jim Crow method of law and orders on their population, especially targeting black people. So it's definitely it's kind of ironic and definitely an eye opener what's going on with society and how society, even in countries concerned of America, how it could just do a 360 or even a 180 in the midst of a crisis it cannot solve in a very short period of time. That's just pretty much what I basically see it. Um, the black people, and especially Africa, getting treated in China, and not all through Asia, but but especially I know through maybe the continent of Asia, there's many black people or population that is getting heavily mistreated. But the China situation is very very heavy, and there is some Africans finally waking up to the anti-black sentiment that Chinese are not finally having. Let me just say this. I mean, like Jason Black said and other people said countless times, there's only two different types of black folks. There's people that see racism and do something about it, and there's people that see racism or white supremacy and they go back into the picking the cotton. So that's pretty much what it is. I mean, in the phrase of Mr. Jason Black, this is good. Black people is seeing white supremacy and a global anti-black really being moved in the crisis of a pandemic that we are becoming, or they are making us the face of the pandemic and the virus, even though it actually was originated in China. So, just to let you know, we are always primary targets. We're always primary targets. We are always going to be atop of the agenda when it comes to anti-blackness and even white supremacy. Just to really want to let you guys know that. But like I said, it's kind of good that the blacks are somewhat waking up to this, and it's good. I kind of want to continue a little bit more because it will make you think of more of survival instead of play. So this is kind of what it is. But yeah, I definitely want to just really just make that video with a vet phrase or what she said about the financial is not really important. That's just idiotic to me. That's you need some type of financial base to even support any type of movement or even something that's that's more of a crowd type of movement. You still gonna need some type of financial or economics behind it. Just what it is, common sense. It's almost goes hand in hand like nature. So it's just to me it was just a idiotic way to say it. Plus she had a lot of hesitation, uncertainty when she said it. But yeah, just like I said, man, I'm gonna hit you guys back with a video real soon. So stay up, all right? One.